2013 is almost over, so that can only mean one thing. It is time for some year-end countdown videos, and I'm sorry I've been so busy lately that I have not been able to put out a ton of reviews, even though there haven't been a ton of new albums. I do at some point want to go back and get a few that I missed. So stick with me, bear with me through this busy season, and today you're getting my top 50 songs of 2013. Keep in mind, these are all my personal choices, and let's go ahead and get this list started off.
Doing It Right, Daft Punk featuring Panda Bear.
In a weak year for dance and electronic music, Daft Punk shone a light through with their impressive disco and dance record, Random Access Memories. This track serves as my favorite cut from the LP with its irresistible vocoder hook and vocals from Panda Bear of Animal Collective fame.
If So, Atlas Genius.
Atlas Genius put together quite a surprising debut record early this year, filled with fun and upbeat electro-tinged alt-rock tracks, with If So being the biggest standout in my opinion. Big synths and bright vocals make for a great feel-good track.
Mirrors, Justin Timberlake.
One of the biggest names in pop returned this year, dropping 2 hit-or-miss records in only 6 months, but Mirrors is easily recognizable as the best track from either LP with its heartfelt lyrical content, delicate production, and perfectly pitched vocals. You might want to stick to the radio edit though.
Supersoaker, Kings of Leon.
It's great to see the Follow-Wells back on track and having fun, as showcased in this summer blast that is Supersoaker. Perfect combination of guitars, bass, and a complete retro rock feel.
Simple Pleasures, Jake Bugg.
Speaking of retro rock, now we have Jake Bugg. He's 19, writing his own songs, making rock and roll music that has depth to it. Simple Pleasures stands out so much to me because of its relatable and smart lyrics and its wonderful guitar melodies.
Do I Want to Know? Arctic Monkeys.
Ooh, I've got a shiver down my spine just thinking about this track. That guitar, that bass, it's so dark and edgy and sinister and sexy.
Ode to Sleep, 21 Pilots.
21 Pilots have established themselves as one of the best new acts out there, with this cut being living proof. The ability to seamlessly transition, switch moods back and forth throughout this track is incredible. Singing, rapping, whatever you want, this track has it.
Shadow Moses, Bring Me the Horizon.
The metalcore titans opted for a more experimental approach with their new album Sempiternal, and the results were pretty incredible. I'd never been into this band up until now, but Shadow Moses combines a little bit of everything that they've done into one. Harsh and angry scream vocals, hard guitars, and a little bit of electronic flair make for a huge anthemic track.
Spiderhead, Cage the Elephant.
What better way to lead off an album than with this track, which sees things get much brighter in a musical sense for this rock band. I've got to praise its catchiness and the old school flair that this track has, and that electronic break that really shifts gears and helps close out the song.
Love and Drugs, The Maine.
Much of the Maine's new album was very forgettable to me, but Love and Drugs was definitely an exception. The Maine really have gone for a more straight up rock song in recent years, and this is one of the times where it really pays off.
I Hope You Suffer, AFI.
They changed, they used to be so good. Just a few of the comments that I saw or else heard whenever AFI dropped the first single from Burial's, I Hope You Suffer. Here is what I have to say about it. Look, bands change, they opt for new sounds. You can either embrace it or you can just walk away. You don't have to just sit there and hate on the band all day. I think this song is very cool, very dark, distant, and angry. Davy's vocals soar over Jade's guitar perfectly. Just check out the track if you still haven't.
Up in the Air, 30 Seconds to Mars.
It's hard to listen to a mediocre album after such a great first single. I'm looking at you, 30 Seconds to Mars. Up in the Air has electronic and rock music meshing together to form this power blast of a track that sees lead singer Jared Leto up in the air, fucked up on life.
Hail to the King, Avenged Sevenfold.
The modern metal kings showed us exactly what they meant by going for a more guitar-driven sound. Case in point, here on Avenged Sevenfold's title track, Hail to the King, from the new record. After seeing this live especially, it was a no-brainer that this would end up on my top 50 list.
Pompeii, Bastille.
Pompeii is one of those tracks that really grabs you on first listen and just does not let go. With repeated listens, even after hearing the song all the time, I never really tire of it. It's got this big and adventurous feel to it, and it's been the perfect soundtrack to a lot of things that I've done in 2013.
Demon Dance, Surfer Blood.
Even though this is more of a summer jam for me, I still find enjoyment from this track in the off-season. Surf rock at its best with catchy vocals and breezy guitar work, and of course, demons dancing.
Diane Young, Vampire Weekend.
Grab the wheel and keep holding it tight. The modern vampires are back in the city. They rode in on Diane Young, the first single, well, the A-side single, that is, from their new LP. It's quirky, fast-paced, and beautiful on the ears. If you're a Vampire Weekend fan, what are you waiting for? Go hear it now.
Smooth Sailing, Queens of the Stone Age.
Queens of the Stone Age really impressed me with their first album in 6 years, with Smooth Sailing being one of the best cuts, in my opinion. A choppy intro followed by a sarcastic and no fucks given attitude throughout the song. That groove just goes on, and it's unstoppable. As Josh declares, I blow my load over the status quo. Love its style and the guitar work throughout.
The Light Behind Your Eyes, My Chemical Romance.
No, God, no! My Chemical Romance will never appear on a year-end list ever again, unless a miracle occurs. But who would have ever thought that the band would have put out such an emotionally touching track, My Chemical Romance? Wow, it just really blew me away with this track that cries for love and the words that long to be said to a loved one. Simply a beautiful track that demands to be heard.
Purple, Yellow, Red, and Blue, Portugal the Man.
The Evil Friends album. Well, we'll get to that soon enough. All you need to know for now is that this is a killer cut from the record that shines with lyrics that poke fun at mainstream celebrities, and keys that shimmer throughout. Can't forget to mention that warped guitar solo at the end either.
One Way Trigger, The Strokes.
I was so caught off guard the first time that I played this track, the first promo single from Come Down Machine, and it turned out to be my favorite song on the album. Who would have guessed? It sounds like it's straight out of the 80s. This track sees Julian Casablancas taking on falsetto vocals over a huge synth loop and a mix of guitar and bass.
Royals, Lorde.
I don't think much needs to be said about this hit chillwave pop tune. It's an amazingly good song written by a teenager from New Zealand that calls herself Lorde and is smarter than the majority of her pop star peers.
Wrong Side of Heaven, Five Finger Death Punch.
You guys know I wasn't a huge fan of either volumes of The Wrong Side of Heaven and The Righteous Side of Hell by Five Finger Death Punch, but this track is a standout from the first volume. It reminds me a lot of Remember Everything off of American Capitalist, an emotionally vulnerable track once again with great guitar work and a nice depth about it.
Best Day of My Life, American Authors.
It's hard not to feel like you're walking on air when listening to this feel-good pop rock song sung by up-and-coming band American Authors. I see nothing but success for these guys in the future, and I highly recommend checking out their debut EP filled with amazing tunes.
Maybe Tonight, The Somerset.
Now here is a motivational song. Maybe tonight we'll start all over, like it's the first day of our lives. The focus of this track is on the here and now, seizing the moments and never thinking of past failure as a reason to quit. Brian Dales' voices is only getting stronger with time.
Dreaming, Smallpools.
Another track from an indie group that you might not know but might want to. Smallpools released Dreaming, a synth and guitar powered jam that's as cool as iced lemonade in the winter. You're going to be singing along and tapping your foot whether you want to or not.
Don't Blink, Relient K.
A song with a good message that doesn't force things down your throat. That's pretty much what Relient K has always been about, and with Don't Blink, it got me incredibly stoked for this new record, Collapsible Lung, which ultimately just sucked. There's no other way to put it, it just did. You'd be a fool though not to check out this upbeat pop rock jam if you enjoy the band's past work.
Revenge is a Dish Best Served, Reggie in the Full Effect.
Isn't it amazing what Kickstarter can do? That's how Reggie revived this project that had been dormant for some time now, and I'm pleasantly surprised with some of the results on the album No Country for Old Musicians. Reggie is having a lot of fun on this track in particular. Hard guitars, mid-2000s sounding synths, and hilarious lyrics make for an awesome combination here on this one.
Still Into You, Paramore.
This track probably would have been a lot higher up on my list had I not heard it a million times on the radio, TV, online, etc. But it's still wonderful and catchy, and it's got some of the catchiest guitar riffs of the year.
Hurricane, Miss Mister.
Talk about a slow grower. I checked this song out on 3 separate occasions throughout the year, and it wasn't until the 3rd listen that it really started to click with me. This track paints a dark portrait as it speaks of love that isn't understood, or rather, someone who doesn't see what the other person sees in them.
Lion, Hollywood Undead.
Hollywood Undead returned in solid form this year with their new LP, Notes from the Underground, with Lion being one of the standouts, the biggest standout in my opinion. This track is a hard rock / rap track that really shows desperation and emotion as Johnny Three Tears of the group takes the verses on this passionate track.
Rap God, Eminem.
Eminem proves that he's still got it. There's not much else to say here. Amazing pace, incredible flow that never drops off. You won't even notice that this track is 6 minutes long.
My Songs, Know What You Did in the Dark, Fall Out Boy.
The comeback single of the year, ladies and gentlemen, right here. My Songs, Know What You Did in the Dark, Light 'Em Up. A track that only Fall Out Boy could make. This anthem led its way up the charts and into the hearts of longtime fans such as myself. This track grew on me more and more the more I heard it. I think this is the most played song of the year in my iTunes.
It's About Time, Young the Giant.
Who would have expected this group to come back with such a gritty rock sound? Not me. It's been about 3 years now, a little over 3 years since Young the Giant's self-titled record dropped on Roadrunner Records. They're now with Fueled by Ramen. I really love the vibe that this song puts off though.
Bitter Rivals, Sleigh Bells.
Sleigh Bells are back on track. Noise pop, bright and loud melodies with hard guitars. This is everything I could dream to hear from the duo who turned out a very impressive LP this fall.
A Stillness, The Naked and Famous.
Even though the New Zealand indie rock group really disappointed me with their album In Rolling Waves, this track was a huge exception to that. Led by an acoustic guitar and a great build-up and a sense of suspense that really keeps you hanging on, this track fires its cannons late but powerfully. This track gets huge as the synths and guitars swirl into this huge pile of noise and musical ecstasy.
End of Me, A Day to Remember.
Talk about a hard hitter. This song is one that I really connect to and can easily relate to. You know me all too well and I can't suppress the memories. Jeremy McKinnon sings here on this one. A Day to Remember can always hit the nail on the head, this being my favorite track from Common Courtesy.
Tennis Court, Lorde.
Royals isn't your favorite track? Oh my god, Becky, look at his list. Simplistic production, crafty lyrics, and a big smart-ass attitude infiltrate one of the best tracks of the year right here on Tennis Court.
This Ladder Is Ours, The Joy Formidable.
This is one of the first songs that I fell in love with this year. Supercharged guitars, power that's cut from the Welsh rockers' latest album, Wolf's Law.
Elephant, Tame Impala.
But John, this song came out in 2012. Well, that's just awesome to hear. But it didn't hit radio until 2013 in the US, just saying. This song reminds me a lot of a band I used to follow called Living Things, and it's great. Fuzzed out rock and roll with a long and mesmerizing guitar and synth break in the middle of the song. It just truly captivates me from start to finish.
Sweatpants, Childish Gambino.
I know this one hasn't been around long as of right now, but this track from Gambino's Because the Internet immediately clicked with me. Smart lyrics, a beat that immediately catches the ears, and a fast flow that showcases why Donald Glover aka Childish Gambino is one of the best rappers / hip hop artists in the game today.
This is Gospel, Panic at the Disco.
Love at first sight, this is gospel. If you love me, let me go. That's what Brendan Urie cries over big guitars and punching drums here on this track, and it's easily the best from their new album, Too Weird to Live, Too Rare to Die.
My God Is the Sun, Queens of the Stone Age.
I don't understand why a handful of fans were so underwhelmed by this track. I still rock out to this tune on a weekly basis. Huge chorus, amazing guitars, it's the best straight up rock and roll song of the year.
Creep in a T-Shirt, Portugal the Man.
I'd never been a huge fan of Portugal the Man until this year. The first time listening to their new record, this track instantly jumped out at me as a winner. I love the keys, the vocals, and absolutely everything else about this track. The whole album wins, but this is one that you really should not miss.
Chocolate, the 1975.
Fun and catchy British alt rock. Take it all in and enjoy. Good luck getting this one out of your head, mainly because you aren't going to want to.
Let Go, RAC, featuring Kelly and MDNR.
Alt Nation surprised me one night with this track. I was riding home with a friend and couldn't turn it up too loud, but you better believe I made a note in my phone of the song's name and the artist. Possibly the most simple yet catchy guitar line of the year, with guest male and female vocals giving a really nice perspective to this track.
Shepherd of Fire, Avenged Sevenfold.
I was absolutely blown away by hearing this song live. Went back and started listening to it more. The guitar is just incredible, and it just compares to anything Avenged Sevenfold have done in the past, if not even better.
Sweater Weather, The Neighbourhood.
I first heard this song on New Year's Day. That's how long I've been listening to it. New Year's Day of 2013 for Sweater Weather, and I've been listening to it more and more and more throughout the year. Like, I would listen to it 1 or 2 times here and there, and now I listen to this multiple times per week, and it's starting to get popular. People are starting to play this on the radio, not just like rock and alternative radio, it's on like mainstream radio, and I wish nothing but the success, huge success to The Neighbourhood, because this song is awesome, and so is their debut record, I Love You. The whole song's about like sex though, just in case you didn't know.
Counting Stars, One Republic.
One Republic truly did surprise me this year with their album Native. Counting Stars is the first song on the album, and the first time I heard it, I said to myself, this is a hit. Why is this not a single? Hey, and guess what? Now it's a single, and it's charting in the top 5 of the Billboard Hot 100. This song is everything that you could ask for from a pop track. It's got that gospel flair to it, and it just isn't afraid to showcase like what Ryan Tedder, the lead singer, is feeling. He's putting himself out there. I love this song, I never get tired of it.
Changing of the Seasons, Two Door Cinema Club.
Ah yes, another good relatable song. Actually, an amazing relatable song. The first time I heard this song, I was kind of like, whoa, yeah, Two Door Cinema Club, they're back. Alright, what's this? It's not even on an album? What? So, Changing of the Seasons, you truly did surprise me. This track is incredible. I love the way the drums and the guitar feel on this track. The guitar, just the way it plays in the background of the chorus, sounds phenomenal to me. I don't know about you guys, but I started to fall in love with this track almost instantly. I love some of the lines, especially from the chorus. And when you say you won't forget me, well, I can tell you that's untrue, because every day since you left me, I've thought less and less of you. And I've worn out all the reasons to keep on knocking at your door. It could be the changing of the seasons, but I don't love you anymore. That's some of my favorite lyrical content from the entire year right there.
The Mother We Share, CHVRCHES.
Numero uno, what is it? You've been waiting, I know, for a long time, and you actually just heard /Saul. So here it is, The Mother We Share by CHVRCHES. I can never get this song out of my head, but I don't think that's a bad thing, you know? It might just be my ringtone, it might not be, don't judge me, but I listen to this song probably at least daily. I love the vocal samples from the just to the way the synths and everything flow. Lauren Mayberry has this beautiful, beautiful voice, and it sounds strong except vulnerable at times throughout the song. It's amazing, and if you have not checked out that track, if you don't check out anything else from this list, I'm begging you, go hear this one. It's my favorite song of the year. Anyways guys, if you want to see the full list, there's a link to check that out. It'll be on my blog, so if you want to click the link, it'll take you over there if you just want to see all 50 songs listed there in case you missed a song, you skipped around the video, or you stopped paying attention for a second. I understand, it happens sometimes. So just give this video a like, guys. I worked really hard on like writing everything out and just narrowing everything down, and I'm sorry that I can't make as many edits to this video as I could last year. My computer is kind of crapping out on me. But anyways guys, thank you so much for the support and for watching. We are 5,000 strong now here on this channel. So make sure you share the video and the channel with a friend and keep supporting. Top 15 albums of the year is coming right after Christmas, so make sure you stay subscribed, and I will see you very soon right here on Album Review TV, Beyond the Reviews. And of course, don't forget to let me know some of your favorite songs of the year in the comment section down below.